Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at basically to cut a long story short, at the powerful duo of the Int LR Super Saiyan Goku and the Gohan. So this is a pretty cool combination of units. We have the Int LR Super Saiyan Goku, who's kind of like this first slot tank, who's incredibly powerful, and then we have this incredibly solid, very strong damage dealing second slot unit that just kind of makes a big difference. So the synergy between them is great on a lot of levels. Functionally they work incredibly well. Then obviously we have the really strong link sets that they share. They're on a ton of categories together. I believe Gohan is also a 220% lead for Goku. So there's a lot of great synergy for these guys. So it goes beyond just, they're a good pairing because one's a first slot unit and one's a second slot unit. They bring a lot to the table for each other, even in terms of active skills that actually makes them round out and work incredibly well together. So I think there's a lot of layers to this. So yeah, let's talk obviously about Goku. Goku is great. He's got 20% damage reduction, just kind of flat, much like Gohan himself. As the first attacker in the turn, he gets an additional 30% damage reduction. Obviously this is pretty big, giving him that big 50, which I think is like kind of a notable point, I think, for a lot of units. That big 50% damage reduction is that turning point towards being a good tank. Doesn't necessarily mean that they are, but it's a sign that they could potentially be a good tank. And then he's got guard for the first 6 turns from his entry turn. So immediately, you're looking at him being quite tanky in that beginning. 50% guard, or guard plus 50% damage reduction means that you don't need a lot of defense to be effective. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're guaranteed to tank everything, but it means for the most part you should be fine. Goku's real talent lies in how quickly he stacks his defense. Goku launches an additional super attack after receiving an attack. Goku launches an additional super attack as the second or third attacker in the turn. Goku launches an additional super attack basically out of his hidden potential system. And because he greatly raises defense, if you can start to really kind of get Goku's 2 or 3 or 4 super attacks going, then Goku very quickly can ramp himself up to that 1.5 million, 1.6 million mark. And with 50% damage reduction, that's quite tanky. It doesn't mean that he's an absolute tank, but he's quite tanky. I think in most events, as long as Goku's not being blasted out the gate with like a 4 mil super attack, which yes, does happen in some events like Formidable Foes, etc. Generally, most times Goku's pretty good. And even then, after his super, he is pretty good anyway, because he's got that, raising attack and defense as well. So very good unit overall. On top of that as well, he shares with Gohan 6 links. 6 very good links as well. Super Saiyan, Saiyan Warrior Race, Kamehameha, Prepare for Battle, Fierce Battle, Legendary Power. Really augmenting his offense. Gohan, on the other hand, also has 20% damage reduction, but he also has guard. But he is more a unconditional second slot unit. He's got that huge defense boost when he starts from the 5th turn. He's got that guaranteed crits at 24 key. He has obviously that great amount of defense that he gains on super as well. So he's very much a great second slot unit. Now, because of the links they share, key is generally not a problem for these guys. So you're sharing pretty much all the links you need, except for shocking speed for Gohan. So your only real concern is Gohan's 24 key, potentially, unless you cater orbs for him. But because Goku has so much ki built into his kit, he's got ki plus 3 at the start of each turn, ki plus 3 as his base for every attack, ki plus 1 up to 3. So Goku has like 9 ki just chilling in his passive. once that's fully built up with the leader skill key, he's already at 13 key. So Goku's immediately pretty much not someone that's going to be that worried about key. And so because of that, generally speaking, you can feed and funnel more orbs to Gohan to guarantee his 24 key, to guarantee his hit. So generally, what I would say is, honestly, I think most pairings fare pretty well if their links do really well together, but it's also the design of Goku's key allowing you to pretty much fully funnel key to Gohan almost exclusively is a great way as well of just augmenting that really good offensive structure that these two have. Look, obviously the caveat here is that Goku may not be able to tank every situation, but I find that Goku is fairly reliable. I've used him in a lot of events. Like I mentioned, there are some battle-hardened formidable foes where there is the odd opportunity, especially if supered early, where you might find Goku taking quite a significant chunk of damage. It's that awkward phase of like turn 1, turn 2, but mainly turn 1. Because like I mentioned, 50% damage reduction and guard is very strong, but their bosses that crit, formidable foes, sometimes they crit right out the gate, they have a chance to crit, you can get caught, it happens. But generally, I find that the synergy between the two of them and the way Goku builds up, honestly, most times leaves you in a very good position. So as much as I do understand there are situations where they're probably going to feel overwhelmed or you might get caught, I don't find it to be so often. I've used these guys in quite a few events, battle-hardened formidable foes as one of them. And honestly, barring the odd occasion where I felt very nervous against a crit boss, I've very rarely felt the need to be pressured into a poor game decision or maybe using an item when unnecessary, etc. So yeah, I think for a lot of the times, at least from my perspective, I find that they're a fantastic unit pairing. What I really like is syncing their active skills. Goku's can only be used when a unit's below 30% health. But if you use Gohan's to push them into that threshold, Goku will then use his, which means Goku will absolutely incinerate them. So it's a pretty fun combo to do. The father-son Kamehameha into the Goku attack is all a really great time. Overall, this is a really fun combo that synergizes pretty much perfectly. How long they'll last depends on Goku stacking, but they're really good.